All right, people, welcome back. This is Zyberpunky with Vars, if that's his actual nickname. So we are at it again once more. The last one was actually like 6 or 7 months ago, but here we are again. And today we're going to be talking about the first game of Fallout. Since we have here my friend over here that knows a lot about Fallout, better than I do. So I'm just going to leave all hands on deck on this topic for him because, of course, he is the master of it and he actually likes a lot of Fallout. And, of course, all of you who do not know where Fallout is, it is from Bethesda, if I'm not mistaken. Is one of those type of companies that they promise and they don't actually do anything about it. But Fallout is one of those franchises that we can actually give them respect and give them credit for what they actually do. So here I gave this part to my friend over here, and go ahead and start.
Well, thanks for the intro. Yeah, I've been playing Fallout for let's say a long time. The first time I played Fallout was the third entry, Fallout 3, and it was back in '08. Now that I make the math, it seems like pretty far away.
That's with the 360, right?
Yeah, with the 360. It was the
All
first
right.
Fallout game to be like an RPG third to first person because you can switch from first to third person in this game. Because the previous entries, the first Fallouts, they were just like top down, tactical, like you point, you click, move. I don't know how to, I don't know what the kind of gameplay is, but yeah, you used to just click where you wanted your character to move and you will go there. But it was more focused on story rather than combat or anything. Yeah, like back in 1994, a genius mastermind by the name of, let me check, the name is, Tim Kaine. When he began working on Fallout, like the story is long but very compelling. That's the short way I could explain the game. Like it's a very long story because each game has a independent story, but they all connect with the first one. It's kind of like a sequel, but at the same time, it's not. So yeah, like I've been a huge fan for Fallout since 2008, and
So you played
but
this on
the
the
full
360, right? Or PlayStation 3.
yeah
It was by that era.
uh yeah, I played on the 360 in a friend's house. I used to play it only when I was at his house. The game that I really dedicated hours, the first Fallout game that I played for hours was New Vegas
Oof.
back in 2010, 2011. That is my favorite. New Vegas is my favorite Fallout game. It, it's vanilla content or the original content without any DLC or anything. It's pretty complete, pretty long. But you, with the DLCs, you have more content and it adds more, say, different endings. But back to the Fallout, the first Fallout game. Um, that game was released in 1998, and like I said, it was the kind of game where you click where your character wanted to go. You will loot, explore different places. You had missions, and in this first game, the story starts in 2161. It follows it follows the Vault Dweller. Sorry, it follows the Vault Dweller, a human born and raised with Vault 13. It's it's kind of like every character in Fallout, instead of having a name, because you put the name you want, they have different phrases or different chosen names. In this case, the first one is the Vault Dweller. That's the name of the character in the first Fallout game. And the second one is the Chosen One. In Fallout 3 is the, I think it was the Lone Wanderer or something like that. Fallout 4 is the Sole Survivor. But in this game, I'm going to refer as the main character as the Vault Dweller. In the Fallout series, a Vault Dweller is a person that lived in nuclear vault. How to call it? Well, Fallout Vault, because that's where the name comes from. So they lived in those vaults, and each vault had a different experiment. The thing is that these vaults were controlled by a corporation, government control corporation called Vault-Tec. And it was created with the purpose of experimenting with human beings after a nuclear holocaust, but with the illusion that it's just for human safety and it's for just human civilization to live on even after a nuclear holocaust. And they will tell the people that you will be living here as long as we need. As soon as we know that the surface is clear to live out there, we'll open the doors. You will go out. But it was all a lie. It was all just a host to experiment on people. Each vault had a different experiment. And in this one, I'm not clear what the experiment was, but it was basically they didn't want anyone to go to the surface because they were telling in this Vault 13, they were telling every single people that the surface is uninhabitable and there's nothing good out there. Which that is something that is very important in the story of the Vault Dweller in this game, because that will lead the Vault Dweller towards the second game. So in this first game, the Vault 13 is going through a problem with something called the water ship. It's a water ship it's a ship that controls the water pump and the water source. It's a how to explain it in technical words. It provides like purified water to the vault. And for some reason it stopped working, which it was meant to be. It was meant to happen. It was part of the experiment, Vault-Tec. It stopped working, so the overseer, which is the leader of the vault, it tasked the Vault Dweller to go to the surface to search for a replacement. So the Vault Dweller, the vault, he goes for the nearest vault for help. They had two other vaults nearby, which was Vault 15 and Vault 12. He goes to Vault 15 to discover that it was destroyed and abandoned. It was in ruins. So that leads him to Vault 12, which is under a city that is called Necropolis. This city is founded by ghouls. The ghouls are humans that are turned into zombie-like creatures by the radiation. They can still, some of them can still have their human cognitive senses. They can still talk, they can still write, they have intelligence. Some of them are not. Some of them are feral, and they act more or less like zombies. They feed on human flesh and the whole 9 yards. But in this case, these ghouls, these people living in Necropolis, they were part of Vault 12, which it had a nuclear reactor leak, causing all of the humans there to turn into ghouls. So they eventually came out to the surface and create this town, which is made from the remains of Bakerfield in California. So so far, uh, anyone's with me so far?
Oh
Am I
yes,
going too
most
fast?
no, you're going extremely well. So this lore, just a little parenthesis over here. How close this lore is to the series that we've watched recently? I know the second season it comes out later this year, but I've seen the series Fallout, and how close it is from the series to the game.
How close? Well, it's really far because this game is it's close and far, I might say, because the game is on the year 2161, but and the series is on the year 2296, which is
Okay.
like 130 years later.
Oh wow. So
100, yeah, 135 years to be precise.
all right, all right.
But it can be close to the first game in the sense that it's in the same location as in California.
Right.
And they talk about key locations of the first game. For example, in the series, if you saw it, they talk about a place called Sandy Shades,
Correct. Yeah.
which appears in the game, in the first one. It's a settlement created by the NCR, which is mentioned also in every. No, well, yeah, it's mentioned in every Fallout game from the first one up until New Vegas, the NCR or the New California Republic. So in that sense, it's close, and also it, let's say, but somewhere in the ending of the second one connects to the beginning of the storyline of the series, which is the destruction of Sandy Shades
Right.
in 2277,
Nice. I mean,
which is
so which means this is like another side story from the story of Fallout. It's not like a reskin or a remake of the game per se, like a copy and paste, just like Last of Us is literally a copy and paste, but then they add some stuff. The series of Fallout, it gets a little bit of the game, and it gets its own thing.
it's like they were making a new game and they decided to just make it a series.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because it well its story it's surrounded on three different characters, and the story of each character connect into the same path. They're looking for this enclave scientist, which they end up. And the great thing about the series is that they keep this sadistic and violent mood, and yeah, some sort of violent mood from Fallout. Which I don't know if you remember. There's a scene where one guy gets his foot crushed.
Yep.
Yeah, his
Yep.
crushed, and he gets injected by something, and he gets healed.
Yeah.
That happens in the game. Like literally, you get a limb blown up, and you just inject yourself with a stem pack, and you just heal yourself. And also, you can get side effects like radiation and stuff. Like this guy was turning slowly into a ghoul because he was injected with a drug
It's like
which had radiation.
serum, but
Yeah,
it
like
has its
yeah,
side
like a
effects.
serum.
Yeah.
So that's why I really like the series, because it kept what the game is at the same time giving you a new storyline.
That's good. Hearing it from
And
a perspective of a fan of Fallout, getting a perspective, an opinion about the series, because most of us gamers, we like to be extremely faithful to the game. Like the lore of Fallout in the game, you told me that it's very deep. So there's more than goals. There's more than just guns. There's more than just mechanical armor. There's more stuff. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Pip Boy is one of them.
yeah,
So tell me a little bit of Pip Boy.
Okay, so to get it a little bit in the context of how the Pip-Boy was created, everything in the storyline of Fallout, before World War II happened. In World War II, they started creating using nuclear energy, so they had this high technology advancement, which is the reason why they stayed in this um, kind of 50s look because they didn't find the necessity to change their mode, their looks, the style, because they had everything. They had technology, they had limitless resource, energy resource. I
I
mean,
see.
at least they thought they had.
Right.
So in that process, I believe it was in the 1950s, they started creating like portable computers. So the Pip-Boy was born. It was born as just a um, portable computer able to do a bunch of stuff, radio. In the game, you can access the menu, you can access radio, quest line, inventory. But in the lore per se, it was just like a computer. Let's
It,
say
it's an
it was
AI.
like an Apple Watch. No, not it didn't have an AI.
Okay.
You gave it commands to it. But
All
let's
right. All
say it
right.
was like the Apple Watch of that time.
Yes, because I've seen in the game that you actually have a watch, and it's really big.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like a wrist thing.
Yeah.
And you can connect it to some terminals and computers, especially to vaults to go in and to open them. And it reminds me of Mega Man when you
Yeah.
go link in
Yeah.
because it's like that. It's like a cable that you pull out of the device and connect it elsewhere.
Correct.
And it says exactly the same, linking in.
That's
So
nice.
it kind of reminded me of Mega Man at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the Pip-Boy is sort of like the go-to tool for every vault dweller. They use it for everything. They use it, like I said, for radio, uh, let's say calendar, tasks, to work, to write, to send messages to other vault dwellers as well. The whole nine yards. It's like they have their own social media. Oh, you can also play video games on the Pip-Boy
Nice. Nice.
because in the games you can while looting can find I forgot the holotapes is what it's called, and you can insert them in your Pip-Boy, and you have different games that you can play.
Talking about loot, would this consider be the first looter shooter game?
I believe so. Yeah, the first kind of like looter shooter RPG game,
Yeah.
or at least one of the first ones.
Yeah, one of the first one because I know back in the day, this was in this PS3 360 era where even there has the consoles had limitations, in open worlds per se, and this one was kind of like open world, but it was more open areas. Um, so basically, if we get into these type of um situations of looting, right? And we all know that there is like a limitation on your loot. There's a limitation on uh, where you carry your loot. Back in the day, if one you play the first game, how how often you need to like let go of your loot and gain new ones?
Say when you had like a lot of stuff, like when you were full in inventory, you didn't have like any space to add more things. Because in the first one, since it was like it didn't have like a weight limit thing. It was more like a space limit.
Okay.
So that was the only reason you will have to like let go of some loot and get a new one. But you also had like a base or somewhere that you can go and leave your stuff there. It's basically only when you were like very far from home to deliver your stuff. It's was the only reason to get rid of loot, to get new stuff, more important or quest items, things like that.
Especially the guns here. Can you talk about a little bit about the guns?
Oh yeah, the guns, man, the guns in this games are so weird. Some of them are just handmade, like the pipe guns. There's the pipe pistol, pipe revolver, and it's just like a made gun with a bunch of pipes. But there's also the weapons from pre-war, which is known to be before the explosions for the Great War back in October 23rd, 2077, which was the day where the bombs were dropped and everything went into a nuclear holocaust in the Fallout universe. So you have like guns from World War II. You also have kind of like retro futuristic guns. And you also have laser guns because they had the technology to create laser weaponry, which were instead of having like a magazine, it will have like a battery cell.
More
In
like
this case, it was
ray
power
gun.
cell. More like a ray gun,
Yeah.
exactly. And you would just change the cell, and you had a laser rifle. In the game, you can customize it to be like a semi-automatic rifle or a full-auto assault rifle.
And they're all made up guns. It's not like a World War II type of guns, or they were mixed.
They're mixed. You have the World War II type of guns, and you also have like guns that were made before the explosions, which are the laser rifles and the plasma rifles and stuff like that. I think China had the plasma rifles, and the U.S. had the laser ones.
Nice.
And which the Great War actually that happened in 2077, it was a war between the U.S. and China, and it was called the Great War because it was worldwide.
Right.
But it only lasted like a day because of how devastating it was. Because it wasn't like World War II where there was armies sent in invading other countries, shooting each other. No, it was just nuclear bombs everywhere. They were started just throwing nuclear bombs at each other. That was it.
So, before we close this, and I know there's gonna be more parts of Fallout podcast and all that, and the lore, and everything else. Before we close this, any theory, any mystery, anything that you want to share about Fallout mystery, or any theory about it that you have in mind?
So related to the series and what's coming next.
Yeah.
Because at the end, when he's gazing on the horizon and the ruins that you see in the background, that's New Vegas. And in the series, it's destroyed. But in the game, you don't destroy it. So I have like a kind of like a theory that the character or the main character in the game ended up siding with Mr. House, which is the leader of New Vegas, or the one in control with New Vegas. And somewhere in there ended up just like screwing things up, killing everyone. Or the robots in that game, the robots in New Vegas destroyed the city, and that's why New Vegas is no longer existent and it's all in ruins. That's like kind of like a theory I have, but I have to explain the game New Vegas to be able to understand what I'm saying.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So New Vegas is kind of like a side sequel or a prequel or a you know these games in between 1 and 2, 2 and 3 type of game. Is that New Vegas is?
Yeah, I think it takes place in the same year as Fallout 3, but in a different place.
Okay.
That's why it's not out 4.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a spin-off because it's more or less a little bit later than Fallout 3 because it starts in Fallout 2077, 2277, but it continues in 2281.
I see.
So more like 3 to 4 years later.
Wow.
But it New Vegas because its main story is focused on that place per se, on Vegas. So
Nothing outside
like
of
the
it.
New Vegas is the center.
Okay.
It, you can go outside of it because you in that game you explore the Mojave Desert in the entirety. You can go to the Hoover Dam and other different places in Nevada.
Yeah.
But the story is just focused on getting control of New Vegas, which is the jewel of the Mojave Desert.
I see. I see. So basically, well, like New Vegas is your favorite Fallout. Is that correct?
Mm, yes,
Okay.
because there's a lot of decisions and choice making that will lead you to a different kind of ending.
So this is like another game that actually, from your decision, there's a different ending. Is that correct?
Different things you did in the past. You can screw up the ending if you did something wrong in a past quest. If you kill someone that you needed alive,
I
or if
see.
you didn't complete a certain side quest, things like that.
Wow. I mean, I have to give credits to Bethesda on this because I know
Yes.
we all like Elder Scrolls and other Bethesda games. I I do have all the Fallouts here for the Xbox, and of course, if you do not know the history of how Xbox bought Bethesda, I don't care. They just are there, okay? Microsoft just bought them. But the thing is, um, I'm a guy that likes RPGs as well. But these type of RPGs are kind of slow to me. And to convince me, not even the series convinced me, but I love the series. And I'm here like, okay, so I do have friends, not just you. I have all a couple of friends that love Fallout. And I'm here like, I do have the games here physically. I do have them physical. I think I do have Fallout 3 and 4 physical. The rest is just digital. So, I don't know if I have New Vegas because I think that falls into a not a rare game but a hidden gem game because it's one of those Fallout games that I don't know if you know what I mean about it. It's one of those games that it's unique. I don't know if we don't want to call it a spin-off because it's part of the story. It's like the series. The series is its own thing but in the Fallout universe. So
Yeah.
basically, and I know there's a lot to talk about Fallout, and I do have them here. For those newcomers, for those that are newbies to the Fallout, what can you say to them? What can you inspire, real quick?
Well, it can be slow at times, but as soon as you keep progressing in it, like let's say you're doing one quest and you're focusing on that quest, but on the way on that, you find a point of interest. Say you encounter a building and you enter there, you grab something, and boom, you started on another quest line, which is a lot interesting because as soon as you start the quest line, you check out in your Peep Boy and you read the details about the quest. And so you read the details. It turns out to be more interesting than the quest that you were doing. So you go and do that quest. You gain a lot of loot, new weapons to level up. Then suddenly doing this quest, you found another different quest that is more interesting that will give you more stuff. So you put a hole on that quest and you keep on doing this new quest. And so far, so on, you keep on doing the same cycle and you end up stacking a bunch of quests that will give you content and contents content that is not repetitive, that is not the same, to play for hours, endlessly. Even if you complete the main story, you can still go back to those quests and play them.
And that's very important. A lot of people really hate repetitive things, and like you said, I think Fallout is one of does not fall into those type of games of repetitive type of situations and grinding a lot. We all know we need to grind in RPGs, of course, but that's what an RPG is. So the time is up, and this was a really good podcast. There's a lot more, so just stay tuned. We can still talk about Fallout 1 and New Vegas and the other Fallouts as well for the next podcast. Please, guys, stay tuned. This has been Zyberpunky.
Syndrix.
We'll be seeing you guys later.